A lot can happen between Thursday and Saturday, but for most people, Friday is just a day before the weekend. How does this funny, hilarious movie holds up today? Let's talk about it, shall we? So, Friday. Friday is written by Ice Cube and DJ Pooh, is directed by Eva Gary Gray, stars an ensemble cast: Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, John Witherspoon, Nia Long, Regina King, Maria Horsford, the late Bernie Mac, the late Yvette Wilson. And the basic premise of this movie, I'm going to describe it like this. Basically, we meet Craig, and Craig is the son of John Witherspoon's character and Maria Horsford, and he's the brother of Regina King's character in the movie. Basically, he gets fired on his day off for stealing boxes, and so when his dad tells him to go look for a job, he ignores this and decides to hang out at the house with his friend Smokey, where all he does is smokes a lot. Well, Smokey is Chris Tucker. Then they smoke up Faison Love's basically drugs, and they have until that night in midnight to pay him $200, or else him and Smokey, Craig and Smokey will both be killed. While doing this, Craig flirts with Debbie. He has to deal with the questionable stuff with Joy, and he has to basically fight off against the biggest bully in the hood, which is Debo. So all that, you have a movie. This movie is still great. For a movie that came out in 1995, this movie is still great. And the version I am reviewing of this awesome movie, I'm reviewing the director's cut, which is an hour and 37 minutes longer. They put the deleted scenes back in. So the beginning of the movie, you have a lot of deleted scenes back in. You have a longer version of the opening with involves these two kids who you see later on in the film. One of them is a young Megan Good. You have a lot of deleted scenes with Craig and Smokey. You should basically put all the scenes back into the film. And you have this longer conversation with Craig and his father, Mr. Jones, played by John Witherspoon. And for a movie, I'll say this movie is still hilarious. I'll tell you that. Ice Cube wrote a good comedy. It's a funny comedy. It's just awesome, and I just really enjoy how clever this was, how fun this was, because most movies at the time back then, you treated the hood like it's a bad place, like Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society. And while Boys in the Hood is a good movie, I have not seen Menace to Society, so don't ask me, have I seen Menace to Society? I have not. While Ice Cube wanted to make something that sees that the hood isn't all bad, and I have to say, this movie's freaking hilarious. Like I said, you have a bunch of great cast in here. You got Ice Cube, who plays Craig, and he also wrote the script, and he also contributed to the soundtrack himself with the song Friday that plays during the end of the movie. The soundtrack in this movie is hip hop oriented, and I love hip hop. Okay, I may like pop music and rock music and 1980s classical movie orchestral score music, but I love hip hop, I like the soundtrack to Black Panther, which came out earlier this year, and I reviewed that film. That's on my channel. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of great songs in the soundtrack. You got "Keep Their Heads Ringing" by Dr. Dre, which Dr. Dre is an awesome rapper. Like I said, large cast. Chris Tucker steals the show. Chris Tucker is Smokey. I know some people will say Chris Tucker is annoying, but he's really good. I like Chris Tucker as an actor, and it's a shame you haven't seen him now in anything. So he's kind of gone off the radar. He was a big thing back then, but now it's just like, where's Chris Tucker now? But I think he's still going to do. I guess he's prepping to do Rush Hour 4. I guess I don't know. And you got Nia Long, who is gorgeous in here. Paula Jai Parker, she's gorgeous. You got A Law Called Blinds, by Felicia. If you ain't got my money, I'ma get you and him. And then you have the one line with Smokey. I'm not gonna say it. Tiny Zeus Lister, I think that's what his name. He's really good here as Debo. And let me just say, the fight between him and Craig is great. Is awesome. That's hilarious. It's hilarious. You do get the late Bernie Mac in here as the pastor, and for his little small part, I think he's really good. And you get the late Yvette Wilson as the one girl that, in the movie, they say, Smokey says it looks like Janet Jackson. Control! And just, yeah, rest in peace. And because I do remember seeing that actress on The Parkers. That was a good TV show back in the day. In early 2000s. I still watch it. Overall, good writing, good performances, a good soundtrack. If I had to say anything bad about the movie, is that the movie does use the N-word way too much. But this is one of the few times where I'm not offended by it. So I'm not really too offended with that word in this movie. So I'll give the original Friday, the director's cut of Friday, I'll give it an epitastic. Let me know what you guys think of the first Friday down below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I don't know who would hate this movie. And I'll catch you guys in the sequels.